This week on Nigel Jimmy Tanner!
All this in one, 124.
Hey, hey, hey. We're improvising. It's like freestyle jazz. We got a lot to talk about, like elections.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sprinkletown.
Ah!
I'm joking.
Why am I here?
Oh.
Hey, everyone, welcome to Niagara 124 on this fabulous Friday, November 10th, 2017. As always, I'm James. No, I'm Nico.
I'm here. I'm Bobby. I'm right here.
Bobby with the good mic.
I'm here.
Bobby with the good mic.
It's Bobby
And
with the good mic.
Jose with the semi-decent mic.
Yeah, it's working fine.
So, that's good.
I've decided that if they go at it again, I'm just gonna slide away.
You know what?
and I won't
Nothing.
be in the
I don't
middle
even know
of
what
it.
you're talking about
Yeah.
because we didn't have a show last week.
Oh, we
Yeah,
didn't.
it's dead.
Oh,
It's
what-
dead.
what
There was no
was-
sh-
what was I
apparently
here
there was no
for?
show last
What was
week,
I
Adam.
here for?
We
then?
Area 51'd it.
Area.
I was here for an hour, but I don't remember.
The
what
lizard
happened.
Okay.
people were not there.
Wow, my back is like deciding to just not like me right now. Okay, that's new.
So we're gonna
Good
have a healthy
scoliosis.
Something tells me that when she squeezed me tight, she actually broke my spine.
ha.
Oh my Lola.
Oh my Lola. Nico's Lola, that is.
Really, Sprinkles? You want to bring Lola up?
That
Sprinkles?
we didn't. We've
Sprink-
had this
you can
conversation before. We've
Yep.
had this conversation. I didn't
Sprinkles.
think it was permanent. I didn't think it was permanent.
Sprinkles.
Nope, nope, nope.
Oh.
So how have you guys been? Because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Mostly elections, because it was elections.
It was election day.
The Democrats win. Everybody's happy.
Well, the Democrats won the Virginia House of Delegates, surprisingly, because I didn't expect them to win Virginia.
Oh, we're talking about those elections. I thought you were talking about like
local or
like the important elections.
Well,
I mean, that's part of.
part of it, yeah, with the whole genuine party attempt to come back.
Clearly you don't understand Niagara Falls, which just lives in a power vacuum.
Yeah, it's
So
most...
here's what goes on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back to Niagara Falls. I don't have. Yeah, there we go. So time for Niagara Falls election stats. So here's what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Remember last Infidel when we were just in here chatting, there was no show. When I was talking about Grandinetti and how the Republicans are spending all their money to make sure Grandinetti doesn't get elected. Well, they succeeded because she got the least amount of votes of any candidates. I'm pretty sure Harambe got more votes, and that meme has been dead for 2 years. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, your new city council is Kennedy, Tuma's back with a vengeance, and Vocchio.
Wow.
Vocchio's the Republican, replacing a Republican. But the power vacuum still stays with the Democratic majority in the city council. So nothing has really changed except that the only remaining incumbent from this election is Tuma.
Yeah.
And Grandinetti got the least amount of votes.
Rafflecopter.
Because apparently, when you send a bunch of mailers with stats from the Niagara Falls Reporter, like with her face, but they were subtle. Like, it wasn't like the Niagara Falls reporter would have put Granddaddy's face with, like, fire coming out of her eyes. And, like,
Literally the devil!
And, like, yeah, I mean, they did that with Cuomo. Did you ever see Cuomo's head floating over hell? And then Paul Deister was Nero fiddling while Niagara Falls burned?
Oh my God, I've never seen that.
I have that cover at home because all of it was factually incorrect, but the cover is just so good that you just want to like frame it.
The majority of things are factually incorrect in the news today.
Yeah, what?
Welcome to the modern media landscape.
So those are your city council for Niagara Falls, New York. Allegedly they might do more. I didn't know much about Kennedy until I looked him up, and it's like, oh, when not spending all of his time at Boys and Girls Club volunteering, he's part of the Big Brother program. And when not doing that, he takes in orphans. And when not doing that, he kisses babies. And, like, when not doing that, he cured cancer. And I'm like, what? Like, how is...
Are you sure this guy isn't of the Massachusetts Kennedys with a background
he's
so
not. But here's
that?
the deal. If you've ever picked up a copy of the Gazette, every single photo in the Gazette, whenever they show people, is always like a photo from 7 trillion years ago. Yeah. So, like, Kennedy looks like this young, like, hip guy, and then you look at him, he's like this grayed-haired, angry, middle-aged man. And you're like, okay, that photo's, like, 20 years old, so why are we using that?
I don't know.
Kind of like how Don Glenn has been using the same photo since, like, 1980. And he's been writing for the Gazette since 1961 or 1962 or something.
Wow.
Don Glenn has been a contributor to the Gazette for since the dawn of time.
Wow.
He's not going anywhere. All hail your new leader, Don Glenn.
All hail leader of true Niagara.
Leader of true Niagara, Don Glenn.
John Glenn.
So knock knock. Who's there? Virginia. Virginia who?
Virginia House of Delegates.
Can we just talk about the spite vote that was Virginia?
I'm surprised the Democrats even won.
I love what just happened in Virginia with, was it the congressman? The one that tried to push... So,
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
What,
I need to get
thing?
it exactly down.
So for those of you who don't know why Virginia is such a big deal, Democrats haven't won in Virginia since the 60s, because Virginia is normally a solid red conservative state. It hasn't been Democrat since, the Southern Democrats. So this is a really big deal. Not only that, the Democrats have been kind of aimless with their sort of goal and strategy, so this is kind of a big win for them. Despite the fact that I still think they don't really have a solid message to go on, they've just been doing the whole, yeah, Trump's bad, but, like, what other plans do you have?
Okay, so here's what happened. So in Virginia for it was House of Delegates.
It was House of Delegates.
House of Delegates. So here's the deal. Bob Marshall had been elected 13 times over 26 years, and everyone's like, yeah, because in Virginia you basically just get elected until you die.
Pretty much.
That's how the state works.
That's how most of it works.
But he was known for being the guy in Virginia to push the anti-transgender bathroom bills through in Virginia. He was trying to push it so that,
all that jazz.
All that. And in the most beautiful piece of irony, he was unseated by the first openly transgender candidate ever elected to Virginia House of Delegates, Danica Roem.
Fun fact, she's also in a metal band.
She also went to, like, one of the local schools around here for college.
I'm also looking at the whole in a metal band thing. That really gets me hyped.
Yeah, you really get hyped about metal bands.
It makes me happy.
But that was like I'm like, wow, Virginia hated you so much they wanted to show you how much you were a horrible person by openly showing you how horrible of a person you are.
Yeah. But why do you guys think Democrats had such a big win in Virginia? Why do you think that kind of happened?
Do you think it might be because of it's speculation. I think it might be due to the fact
we want the Republicans got to go. They got to be gone. Like the current administration is garbage.
Even with the current administration, Republicans were still being successful, and Democrats didn't really have a solid message. So what in Virginia caused them to have this big victory? Did people just get around to it?
It's called the flip-flop. It's called the flip-flop. It's the reason the Republicans got in the first place. It flips and flops every 8 years, and it's always in... So they're like, oh, no, this might spell doom for the midterm election. The midterm election always goes opposite of whoever's president. Look at Obama. Like, hey, let's put all of the Freedom Caucus people in to fight Obama.
Yeah, that happened.
And honestly, whatever party is in the majority is never good. For some reason, when a party has the ability to pass things, they can't do it.
They can't do it for some reason.
But when they're in the minority party,
well,
suddenly they're cool.
Well, I think it differs with Republicans and Democrats. Republicans will not fully unify on certain issues. Democrats will go lockstep on most issues.
But that's because the Democratic Party is lockstep.
Yeah.
Even though Donna Brazile totally, and she's like, I did not say that that Hillary rigged the election. No,
Hillary
she
rigged
didn't.
the election.
She just said that Hillary controlled all of the financing in the DNC, and Hillary's campaign explicitly took steps to derail Bernie Sanders' campaign.
So she fixed the election against Sanders. Yeah.
She didn't fix the election. She didn't rig the ballot, but she did everything else.
She did everything else.
Did you hear about this Donald Duck thing?
Donald Duck.
What about Donald Duck?
So spoiler alert, remember when Donald Trump was accusing Hillary Clinton of hiring protesters?
Yes, and Soros.
She hired protesters. She hired protesters dressed as Donald Duck. So people were showing up to Trump rallies dressed as Donald Duck. And Donna Brazile said to her campaign was like, forget about the fact that we shouldn't be hiring protesters. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you should be hiring protesters dressed as Donald Duck because Disney's going to sue us. And they're like, well, Hillary Clinton finds it funny, so we're doing it. And she's like, oh, well, I have Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, on the phone. Hillary's going to a, campaign fundraiser in California with him. It's going to be really fun when he pulls all of his money because you're using his intellectual property.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we're not removing it. And she said, what, do I have to call up Hillary? I will personally call up Hillary. Is she the only one that can get rid of these ducks? By the afternoon, the entire duck plan had been pulled.
You see, I've been telling you they've been paying for protesters at certain places. Soros does this all the time. So,
the Republicans don't need to pay.
They don't need to pay. They show up.
Anything south of the Mason-Dixon shows up for everything.
Pretty much anything.
Shows up with their signs they bought at the Walmart. The piece of wood they bought at Lowe's, because not Home Depot. That's too liberal. It's got to be Lowe's.
How is Home Depot too liberal?
You'd have to take my PR class to get it.
I'd probably have to.
Yeah.
Probably, but that's...
Is it the name of the paint? Or the paint titles too liberal?
The paint titles are too...
It's the there was a show on... it was quite a few years ago. Basically, there was a show on TLC that was like about Muslims living in America.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I heard about that.
Lowe's was had ads in it. And, all the conservative Christian base in the South is like, this show is the devil, it's indoctrinating our youth. So Lowe's pulled all of their advertisements and basically got the show canceled.
I heard about that. I watched that one episode. I was like, this is really boring because it's just normal people living their lives.
You don't see Home Depot doing that. Home Depot just has... orange paint.
Orange paint.
Orange. I mean, they got other colors too, but orange is definitely there.
They just got orange. That's it. That's the one color they got.
Home
Depot orange.
Home Depot orange.
So it's
although Home Depot's I don't know, when you think of Lowe's, if you think of Lowe's, you think of Jimmy Johnson and the Lowe's, the NASCAR truck.
Yeah.
Driving 48, okay. And you picture Lowe's, you picture driving that NASCAR. Now, when you picture Home Depot, you picture a different truck. And Bobby knows exactly what I mean by this.
What?
I'm not gonna say
what?
it.
Don't.
I'm just gonna. Okay, the terrorist attack.
Yeah,
that
that's-
was in
Oh!
he rented a Home Depot
The
truck.
truck of peace.
He rented. Don't bring up the truck of peace.
What is the truck of peace?
There was a meme going around on 4chan that was a photo of a van, and it said, "This is the."
Is it the truck of hope, or
No,
was
it
that
was
a different one?
the Islamic truck of peace.
Oh, I gotta find the
retweet this.
I gotta find the hope truck.
Yeah, it was
I saw
bad. It was bad.
Wait, hold on.
4chan never changed.
4chan is
Never changed.
4chan was a mistake.
The hope truck was on the top of Reddit yesterday. I
like
gotta find
anime.
it. Hold on.
Anime was a mistake.
Anime is a mistake.
Anime is a mistake because Bin Laden looked at anime.
Bin Laden also played Counter-Strike, though. So.
Everyone played
We
Counter-Strike.
Everybody
need
played Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Did you play Counter-Strike, Bobby?
I haven't played Counter-Strike.
You're too young to play Counter-Strike.
Too young. It's out. Like, people play right now.
Seriously.
It's been out for like 102 years.
Seriously, it would be hilarious if he was playing under his real name. Just playing.
He probably would
Probably
have,
had
and,
the
like,
mic.
no one.
He had the mic. Would you like to hear about the infidels? Shut up, Osama. We're trying to get this spawn point.
And once again, mark the time, 12:16. The show derails.
Like, Counter-Strike's known for just like I don't know, like the chat.
Many
the
Russians.
yeah.
Many Russians for some reason. Why do so many Russians play Counter-Strike?
What? You mean the Russians are involved on the internet? No way.
No way.
I hope I can find this because this.
I like when people are talking about, they're like, oh man, the Russians meddled in the election. Really? What about Russia Today on YouTube, which everyone watches? Like, that is a propaganda
What do you
wing.
mean everybody? I don't watch that.
A lot of people do.
Why would you watch that? It's propaganda.
Because they're not smart enough to realize it's propaganda.
It's Russia Today. It's state-run
because
media.
now they just call it RT.
It's
They're so
state-run
hip and
media.
now, no one realizes it's Russia Today.
It's
RT.
state-run. It's
Are
like
they Rooster Teeth.
Yes, they are.
It's like
Speaking of Rooster Teeth, I watched.
Wait, hold
I didn't
on.
watch last week's episode of Ruby, but I watched everything up to last week's episode because it wasn't up yet.
Last
man.
week's was what, episode 4, right? Is that what you're talking about?
I watched up to spoilers.
Spoilers.
When you know who assassinates who.
Oh, yeah.
I have not watched Ruby
in
in
the
a
show
while.
for all of like 3 minutes.
That was the most. Bobby, do you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of Bobby the intern in my fanfic.
You know who voices her too, right? Monica Rial, stalking.
Are you kidding me?
Assassin.
Why? Why?
Oh
no. Assassination.
What? Speaking. Wait. What? I was trying to transition to saying, why do people watch Russia Today, Al Jazeera, the obvious propaganda channels?
Why do people watch Fox News?
I don't know. I don't watch any real major news.
Why
site.
do people watch
Fox News discussing cheeseburger emojis?
Or the poop emoji.
Okay, but know what? No, the cheeseburger emoji thing really irritates me. Because does no one does no one on this planet know how to make a cheeseburger?
The cheese
This
goes
is
on top of
news.
the
The
patty.
cheese goes on top of the patties, guys. It doesn't go bun, cheese, burger.
But the
My depression.
But is
bun.
is this newsworthy?
the Big Mac
Yes.
the Big Mac marketing has the cheese under the burger. I don't know if when they actually make it they put it under the burger, but in the the advertisement they have it on the bottom.
Oh man, I don't even know. I actually don't know how they make the. Does a Big Mac? Yeah, Big Mac does have.
They,
cheese.
you know how they make a Big Mac? They take a bunch of stuff and they throw it in a box and they give it to you. That's how they make a Big Mac.
You know what they call it?
Duo,
You know what?
patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun.
You know what they call a Big Mac in Europe?
Lay Big Mac.
Why are we doing this?
A Royale with cheese.
No, they call a quarter pounder a
Royale with cheese.
A Big Mac is still a Big Mac, but they call it Lay Big Mac.
La Big Mac. But then you have a Royale with cheese.
How are you misquoting Pulp Fiction?
I was saying the quarter pounder.
I don't know.
I meant to
said
say. I
Big
meant to say the quarter pounder. And then you can get a beer in a movie theater and like a glass of beer.
You can do that in a lot of places here in America. That's the new fad.
That
You
should
can
be a
get beer at a
thing.
Taco Bell now.
That needs to be a thing.
If you go to a cantina-style Taco Bell, you can get beer.
I don't know. I didn't go to
Or,
Burger King.
I'm sorry, cerveza. Because
Cerveza.
it's Taco Bell and we need to speak Spanish. Totally.
Cerveza.
Because Taco Bell's Spanish.
Taco Bell's Latin.
I had Taco Bell 2 days ago. I had Taco Bell.
Why?
I just order
don't
everything
eat
on.
Taco
I
Bell.
literally order like one of everything on the dollar menu and just eat it.
I
I don't think
not.
Okay, not one of everything. I order a cheesy bean and rice burritos, a beefy Fritos burrito, a shredded chicken mini quesadilla, and a spicy tostada.
Which Taco Bell do you go to?
I haven't.
The one in front of Target.
I've been to
It's
that
good?
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've
You've never had
I've
Taco
never
Bell.
had Taco Bell because I was always told the one here is garbage.
All Taco Bells are garbage.
Yeah.
They're all garbage. What's
I've-
the point of Taco Bell?
Let me just rank the taco places around me
Can you not?
because
You're
well.
to be like Colosso Taco.
Of course Colosso's number. Of
And
course
it's
Colosso's.
not.
Yes, it
It's
is.
not. The
It
best,
is.
No, La Galera beats it.
La Galera's
Well,
good.
I'm talking about like fast, get in, get out tacos.
La Galera's pretty fast.
La Galera's
La
good.
Galera is
You
not
need to
fast.
sit
Listen, I've
down.
got my food pretty quick.
Every time I order something from them, like they'll be like, "Oh, it's like 20 minutes." I show up 40
Wait,
minutes
I might be
later.
thinking
and
of the other place. What's the other place?
Oh, you're thinking
El
Cubalete.
Cubiete.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
place is
Cubalete
good.
is fast.
Cubalete's
Like, Galera
fast.
is like 4 years later. You're still waiting for your chips.
Or if you're like me, you get passed over for larger groups. So this
Wow,
literally
you're Jewish.
happened.
I didn't know. What?
Nakila hala, nakila hala, nakila hala. I didn't expect that to come from Bobby.
Bobby, every now and again, you just make a joke. Like it's like once a year, he just gets it. It's like once a year, like the end of the semester, he just gets it.
I'm taking Hebrew scripture class this semester.
Really?
Yeah.
I had nothing left to take next semester. Like I have no. Like he looked at me. He's like, "Oh, all you have to take is your thesis, and then you can graduate." And I'm like, "Well, I need to be full time." So
Yeah.
So I'm taking.
Just take like a bunch of random.
I'm
You
ju-
told me this yesterday. Didn't you?
Yeah, but did I tell you what I'm taking? And like my teacher said, "Oh, I'm seeing a pattern here."
I got a general idea of what I want to take. The problem is one of the classes kind of cuts into this show, so in order to do that, I had to take another class, which is a law class, Intro to Law. So, which I'm not really worried about because
So tell me if you can find the pattern here. I'm taking planning and development of tourism ventures, tourism special interest marketing, and advertising. Gee, I wonder what I want to do when I
You
graduate.
can fix the Big Mac promotional material.
Yes, the cheese.
you
should be
need
on
the
top.
cheese on the burger.
They do that because the buns don't look pretty.
The buns never look pretty.
Buns never look pretty. You ever ordered an actual Big Mac?
Yes.
It's not pretty.
Did you
Have
order?
you ever ordered a crappy
Did you order
meal?
the Grand Mac when they had the Grand Mac?
No, I didn't.
Did you ever order the
That was-
McRib?
Why would you? No one ordered. We had the McRib at school. Okay. Do you remember our school's version of the McRib?
Yeah.
That was like that was.
Why
sad.
is this a thing?
You're gonna
Why
need
does it
two
keep
hands,
coming-
Grandma.
Why does it keep coming back? It's a terrible sandwich.
Have you seen that picture?
Oh no!
So we've gotten off topic for food.
We have been.
I'm
Totally
gonna try to
on
get
Let's
us.
talk about-
I'm gonna try to.
I'm-
Wait. I got.
I have a topic.
Wait.
I
I
have
got
an
a topic.
important topic.
Okay. What?
It's the Hollywood Louis C.K. his sexual harassment.
Can we-
Why are so many people
Oh.
I like getting accused of
Kevin
sexual
Spacey.
harassment? Kevin Spacey, Louis C.K.
Because everyone in Hollywood, everyone in general in power, is just like horrible people. But there was the local one. So Sam Hoyt, he was.
I don't know who that is.
He's the local head of Empire State Development. So he's like one of the underlings for the governor
Yeah.
in this
Yeah.
district. He had to resign because of sexual misconduct allegations. But here's
Yeah.
what alleged. So there's two different versions of the story. There's what he's told and what the quote unquote victim has told. He's like, well, I had a consensual relationship with her for like quite a few years, and then paid her had a settlement. Like his wife and him had paid her like a lot of money on a settlement under the terms that she wouldn't bring it up anymore. And then like now a year or two has gone by, and she's coming out like, well, it's sexual misconduct and the way he used me. And I'm like, 2 years ago, he just gave you $1 kajillion, and you said on paper, I'm okay with this. It was consensual.
It's a
You
contract.
know-
Yeah, she signed,
We agreed-
literally signed the contract.
I was having an affair with this person, and now it's like, and assigning this, agreeing to the fact that it was a consensual affair, and you will take the money to settle any and all kind of misconduct things.
It reminds me of that Dave Chappelle skit with the contract.
But this
Sign
is-
this, baby, so I don't get accused of.
This is like this weird thing that's going on now. Is the argument is, if someone has taken money, does that make their claims invalid? And no, it doesn't, because sexual misconduct, misconduct. But what it does show is, earlier, you didn't care as much because you were willing to take money instead of bringing it to court and bringing it to light. On the other hand, you probably take the money because that's all you're going to get because there's no way you're taking down these kingpins in the industry.
Can we talk about Roy Moore?
Who?
I think that's his name.
Who?
Roy Moore is...
Let me look him up. I saw this on Reddit the other day.
Is
but
he
he's,
the one that...
I believe he's in Alabama. He's in Alabama. He's a senator.
Oh, the senator.
Oh, is he the guy who had
Yes.
the affair?
He had sexual relations or sexual harassment. I don't know. I didn't really read into it.
With like a 14-year-old
He was
girl.
30 and it was with a 14-year-old girl. But something like worse than that I saw, like Sean Hannity on Fox News. I think that's his name.
Yes,
he
that's Sean
went on
Hannity,
about
yeah.
it, saying that it was consensual and everything's okay. You can't consensually.
Hannity!
You cannot
No!
consensually you cannot consent if you're underage. That's illegal.
There's
Like,
only one...
consent does not matter in that case.
Like, and you said Alabama?
Yeah.
Like, even in Alabama, that is illegal.
The age of consent in Alabama is 16.
And
Even that's
even
illegal.
So here's the deal with Fox News right now.
They're being
There's only
dumb?
one person on Fox News I like, and that's Shep.
Really?
Shepard Smith.
Shepard
Did you
Smith?
see him during the eclipse?
He got really excited.
No, he was not excited. They just called him in on his like off day, and he's just like, oh man, look, the moon's going in front of the sun. Oh man, guys. He's like, oh man, I'm eclipsing the screen. Look, I'm standing in front of it. Oh wow. Wow, look, it's like,
Where's my
boy.
check?
Like, he was phoning it, and he was, like, crazy. I gotta show you that video if I ever
Fox
find it.
is not
Fox is the
cannot
best.
be considered a credible news
But
source.
no, what's really funny is, like, there
Not.
was, like, one good person on Fox, and then she left, and now is on, like, the third hour of the Today Show, Megyn Kelly. Like, and honestly, the best thing that ever happened to Megyn Kelly was our lunatic in chief. Because no one really liked Megyn Kelly.
I didn't really like
was
because she
Republican.
said some
I
things
liked
that
her.
really annoyed me.
I liked
She
Megyn
said
Kelly
some things that really annoyed me.
because she was the most decent person on Fox News.
What
if you're
about the
watching
gay
Fox.
people? I remember some things she said about gay people weren't exactly
Everyone
nice.
says bad things. They're Fox News.
Yeah.
And then I loved afterwards when Fox News started crumbling though, and Shepard Smith just like was at a commencement speech and was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gay, and I've been gay for years, and I've been in a same-sex relationship for years, but we don't talk about that on Fox News. I wonder why." And he usually said that like at a commencement speech at a college, like, "Gee, I wonder why I can't talk about that on Fox News." I'm like,
This is why I don't
love Shepard
watch Fox.
Smith.
This is why I don't watch Fox, and I don't get why people watch Fox. My father does. I don't get it.
people watch Fox News because CNN is slightly liberal.
CNN's
and
insane.
CNN is goofy. MSNBC is the liberal version of Fox News.
Oh Lord!
Like
I thought
that-
that was CNN.
No,
CNN
no,
was a liberal version.
MSNBC
Is
is
worse than
Rachel
CNN?
Maddow. Rachel Maddow.
But then again,
And, like,
CNN.
No. MSNBC is worse.
Even worse than CNN blackmailing somebody for a meme
Yeah.
and
be-
threatening to dox
What
them.
was that?
MSNBC
About
active-
that punching with the wrestling meme for Trump. They found the guy
Yeah.
wait meme and
And they
threatened
doxed
to
him.
Wait,
dox
punching
him.
the wrestling. You mean when Trump was on WWE? Is
No.
that right?
Okay, so there was a meme of when Trump was on WWE, but someone made the meme of it, and over McMahon's face, they put the CNN logo and had Trump punching it. So CNN responded by finding and Trump tweeted the meme. Or
Yeah.
tweeted the little GIF.
What? Why would
so,
you? Okay.
CNN went and doxed the individual that made the GIF. Hunted him down, went through and doxed him.
Yeah.
Because CNN is that level of petty. MSNBC is just crazy liberal, cannot allow any Republicans to stand, and Fox News can allow any Democrats to stand. So it's those balance each other out. If you play them at the same, I hear if you play them at the exact same time on two separate TVs facing each other, like George Washington will come out of the ground with like a machine gun and just be like, "The USA was a mistake."
So Twitter recently upped the character limit to 280, right?
Oh, you mean the bloated bird?
You mean the thing that's dying?
So here's the it's just right now everyone is just tweeting 280 characters, and a lot of PR people are concerned about it. I'm saying it's not going to last long. People are going to go back to editing their tweets and not doing like really long.
Long-winded speeches.
Yeah.
I gotta talk about something though. So you guys hear about Trump's Asia tour?
What? No.
Yeah, he's on tour in Asia, and he went to China.
This
and he-
photo
Oh, is he still
exactly
like,
describes.
gloating about the election?
Well,
Oh, what
he's
is this?
well.
It's Twitter.
Oh, show me.
Character difference. They're not kidding.
Oh, they're
The
not.
best thing about Twitter was its brevity, and now there's no brevity.
There is none. And speaking of Twitter, Trump, well, not
this
involving,
and
but...
gymnast Allie Raisman says she was sexually assaulted by the team doctor.
And
Wait.
we continue the ballad of sexual abuse and assault.
It's okay. You just have to
We
come out
can't
as
win.
gay, and then everything will be okay.
That was
What?
that was so dumb.
What? Tell me.
That's what happened with Kevin Spacey.
Oh, Kevin Spacey, yeah.
Like, okay, and here's the deal. The first half of his apology, like the first paragraph, is okay. Like, he is deflecting some of the blame, but even the victim admitted Spacey was clearly drunk. Like, visibly drunk, and literally fell asleep on top of him, and like he had to crawl out. Like, Spacey was drunk as all hell. So, like, that has been noted. So when Spacey said, I don't remember that because I was really drunk, probably, if it happened. So that, okay, and he's saying, and if I really did it, I apologize. I owe you an apology. And then the second half, while we're discussing apologies, I should probably mention that I now choose to live as a gay man. Like, no, that's not how that works.
You don't choose.
Like,
You're
it
born
was
that way.
You don't get to pivot in the same release as the apology.
Yeah.
You're not Hillary Clinton who just pivots.
All the time. I mean, this
Like,
is
no. I looked at him. I'm like, and there's no PR person who looked at it and said, you know what? Maybe we probably, you know what would be good? Maybe just get rid of that second. Like, here, I fixed it.
I fixed
Just a
it.
bunch of
Delete.
whiteout. Delete the second half.
But here's the thing. This comes as no surprise to me. I think we've talked about this. Comes as no surprise to me, all these allegations. Because when it comes to the entertainment industry, this is something that is a common practice, especially in the entertainment industry.
And now, now that it's coming to light and people are coming out about it.
Well, I
hope
don't think
everybody-
that's going to fully stop it.
I know.
'Cause even if they come
Well, there's
out.
one. So this is one that one of the kids in my class was talking about, where it's just getting to be like weird. So allegedly there was an underage individual, some actor or something, who claimed that when Charlie Sheen was young, Charlie Sheen sexually assaulted or sexually harassed him, and then he told his family. But he was okay with that. And then he died. Like, he died quite a few years ago.
Oh, my gosh.
And now the family is coming out right now, in 2017, and saying, Charlie Sheen did this to our child. Like, years after the victim has died.
But
And years after the victim had a lot of... Honestly, you want to know when a good time to probably bring up Charlie Sheen's misconduct was? When Charlie Sheen's death spiral was going on a few years ago?
that
Wouldn't that
probably
been
would've
the
been the
perfect opportune time to say, oh, by the way, since you can see he's a deranged lunatic, let's bring this into the mix.
Yeah.
Like, what... And this is...
I think it's the fact that people want to have a career in the entertainment industry and they
And a lot
don't
of
want to talk.
A lot of it is... And under no circumstances should this be permitted.
Yeah.
But on the same, card, everyone's a little bit too willing to, from all ends of Hollywood. This is not an unknown thing.
This is what
Everyone in Hollywood knew this was happening. There's been watch any award show; they always make jokes about so and so is don't go don't
Weinsteins.
don't show up in Weinstein's dressing room. Like, that was like, and it was like, it was played off as a joke, but everyone knew it. And for all of these, like, high-level, celebrities who are coming out and saying, yeah, it happened to me, yeah, it happened to me, yeah, it happened to me. At one point, you gotta know, and I knew it was happening, and I knew it was happening, but what are we gonna do? Well, if all of you knew, and you're saying, well, we were all too afraid to go, there's like 40 of you that knew. Why didn't all of you just all come out at once and say, hello?
And this is, we talked about this in my social psychology class. It has to do with the elephant in the room. The longer people stay silent about it, the harder it is to break the silence.
But also, I think it's the factor of wanting a career.
I guess that's the other thing. I could never see myself wanting a position so badly that I'm willing to, like, and I know there's other people that are, like, really want to be in Hollywood and are willing to put up with a lot of things because they want to be a star. I could never see myself doing that.
Yeah.
Like,
I hate Los Angeles enough. I couldn't stand that.
Like, that's why it. Because on the other hand, like, and this isn't saying anything about the victim, but how, at this point, your determination is, did you really need to be a celebrity? You wanted it so bad, and everyone in Hollywood wanted this so bad, and wanted all their gigs, and wanted to not stir the pot, and wanted all this damage, that everyone simultaneously allowed it to happen.
Yeah.
And do you know how irritating that is? Because then, and it's like, and now, and this is where, like, now we're like, well, now we need to keep bringing it up. Of course we need to keep bringing it up. The problem is, now it's like, now one person brought us, and now we're all like, oh, remember in 1963 when this happened? Like, okay, that's not going to help anyone anymore. Some of these people are dead.
Yeah.
Like, some of the things that are coming out, like, half the people are dead. And I'm like the ones where it's now and, like, they've happened recently and, like, this is a situation. Like, Weinstein, and the fact that it took this long to call out Weinstein, it was, and the Weinstein Company, we had no idea, even though it's in his rider that that he has to pay the Weinstein Company for every sexual misconduct claim that they have to pay off. It was in his rider.
It was in his,
in his contract with the Weinstein Company.
Yeah.
That every time they had to pay, he owed them so much money that incremented. But the first time he owed them $250,000. Second time he'd owed them $500,000. The third time he'd owed them $750,000. And the fourth time and every time after that he'd owed them $1 million every time they had to settle a claim. So not only did they think he might do it, they thought he might do it 4 or more times in his contract. That's how that reads. The company knew it. So that's when I want to look and say, and there's like the grand conspiracy that there's a mass pedophilia ring in Hollywood.
I know that conspiracy.
You know about that, and it's not really conspiracy. It's kind of
a thing.
But once again, like, how is no one trying to stop this? And the police can't charge anyone because statute of limitations.
Hopefully now with like more and more people coming out about like everybody that's done things, more can get done, but I don't think it's going to be fixed that quickly.
I think
you fail to see the dynamic of power.
I don't want to draw a line, but I feel like there is a clear difference between sexual misconduct, sexual harassment, and sexual assault.
Yeah.
Those are 3 very different things.
Very different
In fact,
things.
in a lot of corporations with sexual harassment, and this is where, as a matter of fact, victims get in hot water with the legal team. According to a lot of rules with sexual harassment, you have to explicitly tell the person harassing you, stop doing this, you are making me uncomfortable. Because if you don't say that, then the perpetrator can claim, I didn't realize they were uncomfortable with it. I didn't realize this was inappropriate. And that's run in a lot of companies because that's one of those caveats. So when you're saying, well, he sexually harassed me, did you tell him stop sexually harassing me? And clearly most of them say yeah, but occasionally you have that person that's like, well, why should I have to tell him anything? Because once again, you get generational idiots like watch Mad Men. Watch the catastrophe that went on in that era.
Yeah.
People are not as intellectually or, decent human trained as we are. And a lot of people think, oh, that's just normal part of the game. Catcalling. Like, it's not anything. It's just something you do. Like, unless you explicitly tell them, what you're doing is harassment.
Yeah. But there's also...
They're just like, oh, it's just something that we do. But once you tell them, then you can sue them for harassment because you told them, and then you can get them fired for harassment because you told them and they did it anyway.
Yeah, but there's also...
And that's something that everyone needs to listen to. If someone is harassing you, step 1, tell them stop.
Yeah.
I am uncomfortable. This is harassment. Stop. If they continue, then you go to HR and you go to the higher-ups because then you have a case. Because they're doing it even though you told them no, and now you have a definitive case and you can challenge them on it and you could probably get them fired or arrested, period.
Yeah. But it's also difficult because what constitutes sexual harassment? Because sometimes they'll bring forth cases of sexual harassment that don't really seem like sexual harassment. I've seen people say that saying you look nice today is sexual harassment or something like.
I've heard people say that is sexual. That's saying, hey, you look really pretty today. is sexual harassment.
There's a difference between complimenting somebody and going too far.
Exactly.
And being
And
creepy
that's-
with it.
But the
That's it.
problem is
You-
outrage culture doesn't know the difference.
It's in the minority though, and the problem is the loudest voice gets the most coverage. So I've read those stories, and a lot of those stories that I read are like the ones that are on Tumblr usually. It's like someone
Because of course
on
Tumblr.
I don't
and I haven't been on like, and it's a very small section of Tumblr, but it's always that. But like
I mean,
have,
every section of Tumblr
you know-
is a very small
You
section.
know
Yeah,
Tumblr's
I,
mostly
you know,
small.
I have, and then the other one is sometimes you want to change it, but on other times, not about sexual harassment, just on like people being horrible people. You just gotta kind of roll with the punches because, kind of like when I say, you're never gonna stop racism 100% because there's always idiots that are gonna be racist. And there's always idiots that are gonna be sexist.
Yeah.
One of my friends, constantly like. She has a concrete company. She does concrete. She does like makes concrete things. And she was asking for a concrete tumbler. And she's at home. People are like, "Well, why are you looking at concrete for your husband?" And she's like, "No, I do concrete." "You do concrete work? Do you even know how to use a concrete tumbler?" And it's like, and as much as that makes your blood wants to boil. At that point, you just gotta look and go, "Okay, so you're an old generation backwards hick. There's not going to be any negotiating with you. I'm not going to be able to convince you otherwise because you're already dead set on your narrow mind, either based on your age, your generation, or how you were raised. And there's nothing I can really do to push you, and it's going to cause me more trauma to try to do it than it's worth." And that's what I feel a lot of times where we're like, we need to stop that. You're not going to be able to stop it because it's actually going to cause you more stress and more problems to try to stop this backwards thinking in one individual than it is for you to just go, "Okay, I'm not dealing with you and I'm just cleaving you clean from my life and rolling my eyes and going, 'You're an idiot. Bye.'" And honestly, that's the same thing with business. You don't like the way a business, like you don't like the fact that Chick-fil-A and the Chick-fil-A CEO is anti-LGBT, and
Yeah.
is a raging homophobe. Guess what? Go, "Okay, Chick-fil-A, bye-bye."
Don't go to Chick-fil-A.
And everyone goes, "Oh, but their chicken is, I hate Chick-fil-A. Their food is so good and I'm always eating it, but I hate them." Like, what?
And that really applies to like everything. Like if you don't like a business's practices, you vote with your wallet. You tell them,
Yeah.
"No, I'm
Yeah.
not giving you my money."
Like, say if you have a bakery that refuses to serve gay couples, that bakery's not going to get business. That's how you tell them you don't
Exactly.
like them.
And that's why I remember when that lawsuit came up over like, should they be allowed to make the cake? And he's like, I remember the baker's just like, "It's just my religious belief," and he was on The View. And I kind of, as much as I disagreed with the fact, all he said, he's like, "Listen, you can buy a cake, take it somewhere else, have whatever you want written on it. I'm just not going to specialty bake. You can buy any of these cakes in the case." He actually said, and that's the part that when they went to court over the bakery, no one ever mentioned. He said, "You can have any of these cakes in this case, anything on our shelves, any of the pre-made. I just won't bake you explicitly a same-sex marriage cake. Because it's against my religion. You can have anything else in the store. You could even just have a generic cake and do whatever you want and take it somewhere and have it whatever."
Yeah.
And I encourage you that if you disagree with me, you can go to any of these other bakeries. But that was...
But
the same thing with
and-
that. Why that irritated me is, so you're suing him because he wouldn't make your cake. Why would you want him making your cake? Why would you... He's clearly anti-LGBT. Why would you want to give him the business?
Well, just to be devil's...
Why would you... think about that for a second.
But just to be devil's advocate here, and I am being devil's advocate here, but just to be devil's advocate here, wouldn't the reason they'd want to persecute this is because back in the day, people said it's my religious belief I don't want to serve black people at a lunch counter? Like, they could argue it's a civil rights case, like they're being refused service?
Here's the difference. And it's a very slight difference, but in technicalities it makes a difference. He was not refusing them service. He said, "You can buy anything in this store." He was not saying, "Get out of my store, you can't buy anything here, you're not welcome here." He said, I will not make you a custom order cake.
But he still said you could
Because
buy the
I
cakes.
refuse the right. And if you go into a lot of stores, there's always, "I refuse the right," kind of like artists. Have you ever looked like an artist in their like captions for commissions?
Yeah.
And they say, "I refuse the right to not draw things that I am
Don't
uncomfortable
like."
drawing."
Yeah.
This guy is baking a cake and he says, "You can buy anything in this store, but I refuse the right as a cake artist," which is technically, I mean, a cake designer.
That's
is
a
form of
thing,
art.
apparently. Yeah.
I reserve the right to refuse this specific item.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's all he was saying is I reserve the right. I don't want to make this specific cake.
And if you don't,
And he went on and he said several times, "I just said I refuse to make this cake. You can have anything in the store. I just won't make. I am refusing to make a custom cake." Which, on one hand, kind of an ass of him to do that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
backwards thinking.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, he should be protected under.
he is in
right
charge
of
of his
commission.
business. He is in charge of his business.
I mean, it's even religious. He's under right of commission. By that logic, I should be able to go onto like an artist's page and say, "I want you to commission this." And if you say you won't draw it because you disagree with it, well, then I'm going to sue you because you're infringing on my rights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that the line gets very muddied, and sometimes the same people that are against this baker are the same people that are artists that will refuse making certain things.
Like, say, if an artist, like, say they're like, "This guy should do this." Okay, what if I want you to make a Trump thing? Oh, I don't want to do that. Like, it seems very hypocritical because if you're an artist, you have the right to not make something you don't agree with. And if as a business or as an artist in a business, you have a right to not do that. And if people don't like that, they won't give you money.
And that's where, I mean, this line is so blurry. And the line is always blurry. And the problem is, on both sides, everyone wants to see how far they can push the line before they cross the line. Like, they want to see how close they can get to that edge before they fall off the cliff.
Yeah.
And they keep pushing it and pushing it. And at one point, you just got to sit here, on one hand, the stance of businesses should not be permitted on religious reasoning to deny service. That is a strong point.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of businesses where you can explicitly set that up. Like a business that is like, we will not serve, anyone within the openly within the LGBT community.
Yeah.
And
that's an infringement. And
that's an infringement because first of all, how would you know? And
how can you tell?
The thing with LGBT is how could you, unless they're like walking in there, obviously, it's not obvious. It's not always obvious. So like when everyone's like, oh, they're not allowing, like, okay, there's about 1 million ways to get around that.
Yeah.
It's not like the days where it's like, no black people allowed and like,
you couldn't really hide that.
You couldn't really hide, there's no way to work around that. But on the other hand, this entire situation is stupid, and I was hoping that it would die with this generation because our generation grew up in the 90s where it was like one token of every minority might as well put the Asian in the wheelchair in the cartoon. Because, we were living in like Rainbow World. That's exactly, the 90s was like inclusive
90s.
For the sake of being inclusive a lot. And instead, we got this mass dichotomy between everything is racist and sexist and freedoms. And both sides are like, and then this middle that is like, what are you two doing? But the media is just chewing on these ends because it's hot topic. And the middle's just sitting here like, you're all insane.
We're just stuck in the middle.
Like, I just want, like, can I just eat... Can I please just eat my chicken sandwich in peace without it turning into political commentary?
Yeah, because you have the far right and far left making things a lot more difficult.
And the other thing, they did a study and they found like in like 40-something of the 50 states, Chick-fil-A was the number one
well,
fast food
Chick-fil-A is like out of I don't know where I saw this, but I saw something out of like all the places that serve like chicken and fried chicken. Chick-fil-A is always the number one.
It kind of took over after KFC kind of pulled it.
KFC's terrible.
KFC's garbage,
and
yeah.
so is Popeyes.
Popeyes not too bad.
Popeyes is not bad.
Popeyes
they're
is
about
pretty good.
yeah.
They're above KFC.
But here's the thing with Chick-fil-A. Like, I don't get, like, people are like, I know a lot of people that are like nuts over Chick-fil-A. They're
Did
like,
you see when they had the Chick-fil-A like coming here sign that was like
Yes!
a fake? Like, oh my god.
Like, people lost their minds. And I'm like, I've had Chick-fil-A before. It's a good chicken sandwich. Like, okay. Yeah, it's a decent chicken sandwich. I didn't get what the big deal was. It was a chicken sandwich. I'm like, oh, okay, it's a chicken.
Oh, a chicken
okay,
sandwich.
a fried chicken sandwich.
Then
oh
again,
boy.
like when I went to Texas, I was super excited to go to In-N-Out because we don't have In-N-Out up here, and it was
I've never
And
been
it's
to
like,
an
okay,
In-N-Out.
it's an In-N-Out, you know?
it was
Like,
good though.
It was good, but it wasn't like, oh dear lord, this like I need an In-N-Out every 10 feet.
Yeah.
It's not like Tim Hortons who puts nicotine in their coffee.
Yeah. Or like other places, smaller chains. Yeah, you guys ever been to like Parmenti Brothers?
No.
No.
It's a Pittsburgh thing. They had one up in Erie. I happened to go to one. It's great. Like huge sandwiches.
and then there were some things that should be here, like Krispy Kreme,
Woo!
which was here, failed spectacular, but
And
totally
then turned into a Vitamin World.
Now,
But don't we have Frankie's Donuts to make up for that?
Yeah.
but they're distinctly different. It's kind of like that. It's like, oh, are you going to Dunkin' Donuts or are you going to a local shop? Like local shops are always the best, but sometimes you just want a Krispy Kreme donut. Like a Frankie's donut is like the size of this room.
Yeah,
as opposed
that's
to a
great.
Paula's donut, which is the size of the entire Gallagher Center. And Paula's donuts are just too big. They're so big.
I like the big donuts.
But Frankie's is so good.
Frankie's is good.
Oh,
I got
we
something
should
else
go
if
to
you want to move
We should
on.
go to
yes,
Frankie's.
let's move on.
Let's.
So I got this headline. I'm just going to read it off to you, but I'll let you discuss it. Psychologists listening to Christmas.
No!
Ah!
No!
Listening to
No! Don't finish that sentence. I know where you're going. Don't you dare say that it mentally fatigues you and destroys your brain.
Listening to Christmas music too early can harm your mental health.
No, it doesn't. I've been listening to Christmas music since October, and I'm fine.
No, I don't think
And it
that's
comes-
a
let me read
good
this. Hold
bar
It
to
comes
measure
from the
it
policy
by.
that listening to anything of the same caliber for too long causes you to try to ignore it, and because you're spending all the extra brain energy
Hold on.
ignoring it, it hurts you.
Clinical psychologist Linda Blair claims the constant barrage of Christmas tunes too early in the season forces people to remember all the things they have to do before the holiday. Blair says the songs are a reminder to buy presents, cater parties, organize travel, and all the more stressful chores during Christmas.
Oh, I'm sorry that you remember that you have so much to do. Maybe you should be like me and buy everything like 4 months in advance so you can enjoy Christmas.
Ha.
Although I will probably go shopping Black Friday.
Oh,
I haven't
jeez.
done
You
it.
will die. You will die.
Oh no, you go in the aftermath. I remember I went to old Walmart. Remember when Walmart used to be like on Portage?
Yeah.
I went there and I was like in line. When I came in, it was like they go in like, it was back when they would go in waves. So it was like first wave come in, second wave come in. So that way they weren't all murdering each other. I came in. I went down the aisle and there was a baby doll with its head caved in. Someone had actually punched the head through on the doll, and it was just sitting there. Everything was like all knocked over. It was insane, and it was beautiful.
You see, this is why you need to go to Black Friday with like tactical gear and a riot
No,
shield.
you go to Black Friday at like Bonton because it's just a bunch of old people, and you could totally like hip check them out. of the way.
Check out. Take this, Granny.
Perfect. I think Sam said she's probably just gonna go to Bonton on Black Friday.
Yeah.
And then go work. You go shop and then you go work and then you crash and burn.
And then I need to tell my work that I need some time.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Star 102.5 is already playing Christmas
How
music.
about this one? Oh yeah,
I want to crawl up in a ball.
It's great. It's wonderful. It's the best thing ever.
I want to play Fairy Tale in New York.
No.
It's my favorite Christmas
It's
song.
not a Christmas
Well,
It is a
I mean-
Christmas song.
It's not.
I mean,
It
we got
is.
we
It's not a good Christmas
It mentions Christmas Day.
last week Hoover's Dairy started selling their eggnog, and so we got eggnog, and I'm like, all right, it's officially Christmas.
Yes.
I'm drinking the eggnog.
Yeah.
I drank a whole bottle.
It was officially Christmas when Shawfest happened on Monday.
You missed that, Bobby, I think.
What?
Shawfest happened.
What is that?
Oh, Bobby was never initiated. So, remember a few years ago when Jacob banned Christmas music?
Oh yeah.
And then, like, we argued with him and got it so, like, in November we could have Christmas music
Yeah.
instead of, like, December. So, like, we have the glowing power sheep and you have bottles of sparkling cider.
And
we had-
fezzes.
And fezzes. And then you play Christmas music. So we said, here, playing Christmas music. And we had the glowing power sheep. It was great. It was
It was
Shawfest,
fun.
everyone.
Fun, guys.
Shellfest.
I got
Shellfest.
another thing I can read here if you want.
Is that to do with Kwanzaa?
No.
Oh,
It's
that's sad.
there's now an app that tells you if McDonald's ice cream machine is broken.
What?
Spoiler alert, the answer is yes.
All the time.
All the it's always
it's called
broken.
Ice Check.
Oh.
It's always broken. Here's the one, like, how would anyone, like, do people just plug it? Yeah, people are going to plug it in on that app. Especially on our Pine Avenue one. Yeah. The Pine Avenue one just doesn't have an ice cream machine.
Big Mac machine broken.
The Big Mac machine broken.
Yep.
Okay, sir, have a good day.
Sorry about that, sir. Not really.
Me too.
It's
I have
So-
other stuff we can talk about.
No, wait.
but-
I got one more thing. So really, what do you guys think about what Trump said in China?
What
I
do you-
don't know. What did he say in China?
He said it's I can't blame China for wanting to, what did he say, take advantage of another country to further itself.
I think something like that.
Something
yeah.
about it
I
having
thought
the
it was the
majority of
one
our
where
debt.
he told the diplomats, "I never realized there were so many countries." Yeah. Oh, Donald, you have a hotel in every one. How do you not know?
Oh yeah. Oh.
On the other end, Melania is like really fashionable. Like,
Oh,
did you
I
see
don't
her
follow
with
that.
the like? I mean, she's like,
Wait, speaking of countries, did you see that now the U.S. is the only country not in the Paris climate deal?
Yeah,
like
it's
Syria.
annoying.
Syria got
Even
involved in it.
Syria.
Syria's in it.
Yes, and we're the only country that's not in it now.
The only country?
The only country.
No, there's got to be another country.
We're
Is
the only country.
Is the Republic of Sealand in it?
Then again-
What about Micronesia?
Then again, it kind of makes sense why Syria would be in the Paris Climate Agreement. I mean, they've been able to cut back their emissions so much by killing most of their population.
Is Togo in it?
What?
Togo and their did you know that Togo is actually famous for like its voodoo shops?
Chill out, Joe.
I kid you not, it's like a witch doctor shop that they have. It's a market.
Wait, what are we talking about now? I'm lost.
Chia.
I lost.
We're talking about the fact that there's so many that we never knew there were so many countries. So how would we know which ones are in the?
Oh, there's so many countries in the world. I don't know which one we're in right
No,
now.
wait. Okay, here's the deal though. So the U.S. isn't in it, but New York State is still agreeing to it.
California.
Yeah.
So I mean, technically, according to the Democrats, at least, the United States is in it.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Oh,
Democrat-
that was a jab at the Electoral College and the reason it exists.
Yeah, Democrats are all for states' rights until it's something they don't agree with. That's the thing. Everybody's for states' rights until it's something that nobody
Everyone's
agrees
for states'
with.
rights until we realize that we don't like our state.
Then we don't like our state. Yeah, then you want federal. That's why.
I like my state. I just don't like who's
I
in
want-
charge of my state.
I
I
think-
love my country. I just don't like who's in charge of my country.
Yeah.
I think the
Do
federal.
you see the pattern here?
Yeah, I think I'd favor federal over state laws most of the time. I think that should make more sense, but it depends.
I think the feds should be involved in regulations, but when it comes to like individual things that aren't listed in the Constitution, technically the states do have the say.
Well,
but
then it
in
gets
order
difficult.
to keep the United States balanced, that's when the feds need to step in. So like pedantic things like day-to-day laws should be by the state and the counties and city ordinances
Yeah, all that
for day-to-day.
jazz.
But things that where like, education, where like education can be so different in New York versus like Kentucky.
Yeah.
Like that should be regulated.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that makes sense.
Woo!
Yay!
Hey Joe,
What?
have you played Titanfall 2, or are you familiar with Titanfall 2?
I have not played Titanfall 2 yet. I hear it's good though. But also, did you hear that Call of Duty's got dropped again?
Yeah, I heard about that. I was gonna segue into something though, because
The-
EA does their thing.
EA did the stupid again.
EA buys companies and then murders them as always.
What did they murder?
EA bought Respawn, which are the developers of Titanfall,
Why?
for $400 million.
Why
and-
do they
Oh,
keep
and did
killing
they
things
murder
I
it?
like?
Did they murder it?
So the thing with Titanfall, right, is that, and this goes back to business practices and
Yep.
voting with wallet. With Titanfall, like, you know how you buy a game and then like, oh yeah, a few months later you got to buy more stuff
Yeah.
to go with it, more maps. All the DLC for Titanfall was free. Like they added it to the game without you having to pay any more money,
Yeah.
which is a great thing. And I bought the game just because of that, even though I rarely played it. But I want like more companies to do this, so we don't have to spend a ton of money. Like,
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
things.
that'd be great. But then again, AAA games industry are greedy and will refuse to do anything sensible, so it's going to be difficult.
Unfortunately, no one is regulating them on corporate social responsibility. And corporate social responsibility which is also known as controlling things with your wallet, because if you're not responsible to your stakeholders, which includes your consumers and the people and your workers, then they're going to revolt and stop buying/supporting your business, and
Yeah.
you will go bankrupt.
Why do you think
Why do people not realize this?
Why do you think I stopped going to GameStop? It's because I hate their practices.
GameStop's been a mess for a long time.
Yeah, boycott GameStop, folks.
Boycott GameStop.
Go to like Oogie Games or your local game
Or
thing.
just buy games digitally.
Walmart has it. GameFly. I use GameFly.
That's what. Yeah, when I get my because like I said, I'm getting a set in the mail. I didn't win it. I had a bunch of Pepsi Pass.
What is it?
Okay, there's a thing called Pepsi Pass where like if you scan photos.
Yeah,
of Pepsi
I know,
bunches,
but
get
what'd you
points.
win?
It's the Wii Switch prize pack. It doesn't come with the Switch, but it comes with.
Oh, that's right. You told us.
Zelda and
the
Mario
Switch.
and the Joy-Con controllers
Wii
and like
Switch.
and a whole bunch of other stuff. The Wii
The
Switch.
Wii Switch.
The Nintendo Switch. My apologies. But like a lot of people that have it, like I've read online, they go to forums. They just get the prize pack and like they sell all of the stuff in it. Like they'll give it to like GameStop and they'll get like $200. But I should see what like Oogie Games would give.
Well, I gotta say,
for it.
like,
Probably.
with the Switch, I've been playing a lot of Super Mario Odyssey, and like the more I play it, the more it becomes blatantly obvious that like that game is a Switch seller. If you like, have to play that game. It's amazing.
I think that might be one of the games I get with the prize pack. I should
like
check.
it's really good. Like it's worth just buying a Switch to play it.
Oh, probably, maybe.
I'm gonna see. I don't think there's any left, but I'll see if it's still on here. It said what was in the prize pack, so I can read it off, and you can tell me if it was a good deal, considering I spent $0 on it.
Yeah.
I'm not really a Nintendo fan, so I really can't tell you.
I don't have a Switch, so I'd probably just sell it for the money.
As someone who like never really played a lot of Nintendo games when they were younger, the Switch has been a great like thing so far. Like just 2 games on it, like even like Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey, like those 2 games were worth buying it. And like
I hear they're good.
the
yeah.
games that they're going to be coming out with the next year is just it's so much worth it. Like it's a great console.
Yeah, that might be good. Yeah, but I'm just too busy playing Shadow of War and creating an
Shadow
unstoppable
of War,
orc army.
another awful business practice example.
Why with the microtransactions? What the heck?
Give us $5 because one
A man died.
One of our people had cancer. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I refuse to give them any money. I'm just gonna play the game as is.
So while I'm waiting for the internet here to even load,
Are we just gonna keep going?
Are we just gonna keep
We're
going?
just gonna keep going
I'm
until
just
when I have
gonna
to go for class. And
I'm
All right,
a
cool.
fan, Nico. Just to make sure he doesn't overheat.
Can you
sure
please
you-
stop?
Nobody comes in after us, do they?
They're supposed to,
Patriot
but they
Hour
never
was
do.
Patriot Hour was supposed to, but they never do.
All right, we'll go until they get here if they do.
I'll fan Bobby a little
I don't
bit.
understand
I'll
why.
fan
Because
myself.
if
Oh,
we
here
want to
go.
go on
Okay,
about this, I can
so
keep
here's
talking about
what's
stuff.
in it. And it's a really bad combo, but here's the deal. So the prize pack includes Mario Kart, Zelda, 1-2 Switch, ARMS, Splatoon, the Joy-Con controller pair, a Joy-Con changing grip, and a Switch controller.
You get all those games?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I said. This pack, and it cost me 300,000 Switch points that I got from taking selfies every day for a year.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So I'm gonna sell
Dude,
it.
buy a Switch, dude.
No, dude, I'm gonna sell it for like stupid
Mario
amounts
Kart,
of money.
Splatoon 2, Breath of the Wild. Is that you get all of those?
I think, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention Splatoon, but like those
And
games
they're
are
all-
awesome.
So but I want to go to a game store and see how much I can sell them for.
you can probably like if they're unopened, you
They're
can sell
unopened.
them like well, you can probably I don't know. You'd have to see if like what GameStop would do about that. Because if unopened, they could just, but they probably won't give you as much as they're worth.
Yeah.
Or you could just sell them on eBay.
I could, but that
Yeah.
eBay still takes a cut of whatever you sell.
You could go like what 50 because like you could go Switch games, Nintendo games all sell for full price like basically all the time until like a while after they've been released.
Yeah.
So like those games are probably still close to $60. You could sell them for like
I have no
$10
and
less.
it says this what's in it.
Yeah.
And I doubt that's what's in it. It's probably gonna be like you get nothing.
If it says, well, I mean, that's false. Like, that's false.
Yeah, they're also shutting it down. So what? Paul? Yeah, I'm gonna sue Pepsi.
Sue Pepsi. So
But, I mean, that would be a solid chunk of change I could probably.
Yeah.
do.
Oh
So
my gosh.
People got a
Yeah.
couple $100 selling
Yeah.
their boxes.
So I dug around for another story on my phone, and I got something to propose, guys. Guess what it is?
What is it? If it's politics, gonna know because we can keep
Yeah,
talking about
no.
games.
Because
I want to
at this
talk
point, I mean,
about.
the show should probably end. We are running really.
Yeah,
late.
we are right.
And I gotta go to class.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta go to class.
Okay.
So-
tune in next week.
Tune in next week, folks.
We're still on next week. Next week's not Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're still on.
Next
And,
week.
hopefully this show will get uploaded eventually. Our other shows will get uploaded eventually. Once again, when we have time. You know, things.
Baseball.
Luke, for the love of God!
Baseball.
I will.
No, everyone's
24.
I'm Nico.
Bobby.
I'm Joe, and we
Bobby.
will see you next week. Try not to die from the cold.
We
Oh,
will
jeez.
physically see you. We are watching you.
Always.
Big Macs.